Right, hey guys, it's Rido here, and today I'm going to show you how to clean Alcantara car interiors. Just for a little background information, the interior of this car is about 10 years old, and it's seen about 3 owners approximately. Probably about 60 or 70,000 miles use, probably more than that. Actually, I'm not sure the history of this interior, how the previous owner used it. All I know is that it came from a car that had a engine conversion, so I can only assume that the mechanics maybe didn't use seat covers on the front seats or something like that, because these are in a pretty bad state. Now, I bought them thinking that Alcantara would be quite easy to clean, but how wrong was I? It's actually very hard to clean. There's not a lot of guides on it. When I started searching YouTube and forums to find out how to clean it, what I found was a lot of people just post the instructions that are already on the Alcantara website and then close the topic. They don't actually give you any detailed how-tos. And the instructions on the Alcantara website I found were quite vague. They don't usually tend to get into a lot of detail about what you should do in a situation like this. It's all maintenance based and not restoration based. As you can see, this is in a really bad state. It's probably the worst Alcantara it can get. It's probably the worst state that Alcantara can get in. It's really matted. If you look at this door card here, this is less matted and has less damage on it. You can see that the Alcantara is a light grey colour. It's light grey in colour, and it still has its fuzzy feel here. But if you look at the driver's seat, you can see it's absolutely no comparison. The Alcantara is almost completely jet black on here. And ignore the masking tape just now, I've just put that on so you can see the results clearly. But just, if you're looking at the creases here, that's the original colour where it's not been dirted. And then here is the Alcantara, so you can get a clear view of what's going on here. So, to the touch, this Alcantara just feels exactly the same as the leather interior that it complements. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference between rubbing that and that. That's how matted it is. It just feels extremely smooth compared to the door cards, which feel fuzzy because they've not been dirted. So it's really matted and dirty. So the first thing you're going to want to have is you're going to want a toothbrush, or what I've got here, my little dolphin friend. It's just a used nail brush. It's quite soft, the bristles, because I've used it a lot in the past. Then you're going to want a damp cloth. Now this shouldn't be saturated. What you should do is just wet it, wring it through as much as you can to wring all the extra out of it, and it's just damp. That's all you want. Then you're going to want another face cloth. Both of these cloths are just cotton cloths, just face cloths that you would use to clean your face. Other people say that you should use microfiber cloths, but a lot of people are saying that they've had better results using these. And then what I bought is race glaze Alcantara cleaner. Now there's a few other Alcantara cleaners on the market. There's one from Sonox, which is a foam based one, and I've read really terrible reviews about that on Audi S8 forums. I read about a guy who put it on and it completely ruined his Alcantara, and he ended up going to the Sonox headquarters. They said they were going to reimburse him and all this blah blah. You can probably look it up on Google, but I've not read very good reviews about that. The other one is a Swiss Vax one. The Swiss Vax one costs about £30, whereas the Race Glaze one costs £10 for a 200ml bottle. So I decided just to see how the results would go with the Race Glaze one first of all. Okay, so first of all what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brush and then just start rubbing it round in a circular motion. I'm just using the soft bristles at the moment. I'm just going to rub it round, and the pressure I'm putting on the brush is just enough so that it has some grip on the Alcantara, but I'm not bashing it right in. You should never do that because you're just going to damage the fibres at the end of the day. And what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to promote the fibres on the Alcantara to separate a little, because they're obviously matted right now because of the dirt. So the idea here is that you're trying to get the fibres in the Alcantara to raise up. If I feel that right now, it already feels like it's a bit softer and fuzzier than the other stuff over here. So I'm just going to keep going with that right now. Okay, now I've done that for about a minute or so there, and what I'm going to do now is take my damp cloth. I'm just going to take my finger and just wrap it round like that, so that I've got my finger giving some shape and obviously some support to the cotton cloth. Whoops, I can't speak today. And what I'm going to do now is just use the tip of my finger, auto focus, and I'm just going to start rubbing. Now, to describe how I'm rubbing here, I'm just rubbing very lightly. I'm still putting some firm pressure on it. I'm not squashing it right in, and I'm not just going like that, sort of, you know, no effort whatsoever. I'm just moderate pressure on the surface, and I'm just doing it in a circular motion, and I'm concentrating in small areas. Now what you're going to see here will probably shock you. I'm going to show you the tip of the towel that I've just used, and you're going to see the amount of dirt that's just came off this interior. Okay, so look at that one little bit there, and you can see the amount of complete rubbish that's come off this interior. That's just one tiny part, and you can see the amount of dirt that's came off there. Okay, so I've just been doing that for about 2 minutes there. It still looks exactly the same right now, but the cloth has a lot of dirt on it. I'll just show you the cloth quickly. You can see there's quite a lot of dirt. I just used varying bits of, but you can see all the dirt on it. So it's still damp, that's why it's just appearing dark at the moment. So what I'm going to do is just use this dry face cloth just to rub it. Try and dry it up a little bit. Now with this, you just sort of dab in it. This is just to get some of the wetness out of the fibre. Right. Okay, now when I feel that now, it feels like Alcantara should. It's very soft and fuzzy again. Obviously the colour isn't right just now, but that's just because it's damp. And you're going to need to leave this to dry now. I've left that to dry a little bit after that, just padding it with this and rubbing it very gently, just to try and get some of the surface wetness out of this little bit here, so I can show you. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to take the race glaze cleaner, and as you can see I've used this cloth before for some other parts of the car, and I thought I would make a video, and we're just going to spray it, shake it well first, then just spray. It says you can spray it onto, I've just sprayed till it's damp. It says you can spray it straight onto the interior or onto a cloth first of all. A lot of people advise against spraying it straight onto the interior for any of these products, so just play it safe. It doesn't really matter. They say it doesn't matter as well, so just play the safe off. What you're going to do with that is take the damp part and just rub gently, just the same way we were doing with the damp cloth earlier. And some of the dirt, yeah, it's coming off. And again, you're just going to want to do this. Now after you've rubbed the product into the material, it says to leave it on for about 2 minutes before using a dry part to wipe it off again. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to show you the results. Okay guys, I left the product on overnight, and I left the seat to dry. So let's see how it fared. I'll just try and get it in focus. You can probably see already it looks pretty good. Some of it's peeled back already. Let's zoom right in. Okay, now let's peel it off. Hold on. There we go. So there we can easily see the difference that that cleaning product has made to the seat. I'll just zoom it right out here. As you can see, it's taking it right back to, yeah, more or less the original colour of the seat. And I mean, that is, it feels extremely fuzzy now, just like it should, like the door cards do. And again, if I rub that, it just feels completely solid like leather before. So if you guys have any questions, then feel free to message me. I use this account quite a lot anyway. Or I'm over on civiclife.net. I've got the username Rido, so just look me up on that. I should be able to help you if you have any cleaning questions. But as you can see here, it's turned out pretty well. So I hope this was helpful. Yeah, see you around.